Nobody plays Shaq straight up.
And I just swung down as hard as I could across both forearms.
He changed the fucking equipment.
Shaq came out like, God, I kept looking up. Meanwhile, I'm 7 foot, y'all.
Shaq is often referred to as the most dominant basketball player of all time. But Shaq was more than just dominant, he was unstoppable. You could have the perfect defensive game plan, the strongest big on your roster, and all the help in the world, and it still wouldn't matter. Once Shaq got that deep post position, it was already over. He wasn't just bigger than everyone, he was stronger, quicker, and more explosive than a man his size should have been. He'd back you down like you weren't even there, then dunk so hard it felt like the rim might snap off the backboard. And when he wanted to take over, he did it with force that made defenders rethink their entire approach to the game. But it wasn't just about power either. Shaq had footwork, soft hands, and underrated touch around the rim. And once the double team came, which it always did, he was making the right read, kicking it to shooters, or drawing foul after foul. So here's a collection of players who faced the Diesel themselves, breaking down exactly what made him one of the most dominant forces the game has ever seen. Let's get into it.
Nobody plays Shaq straight up. There was no 5 in the NBA that could guard Shaquille O'Neal one-on-one without. You're gonna be in foul trouble immediately. You either you're gonna let him score or you're gonna get a foul. It's one of the two. NBA teams had 5 bigs, man, trying to guard this one in particular person that we're speaking of. I had Jim McIlvain as a 5 on my team, Evan Eschmeyer, Todd McCullough, Jason Collins, Dikembe, Zoe, Aaron Williams. I just named 7 bigs that I played with from my rookie year to my second year. 7 that was tasked to try to guard this guy. David Robinson, one of the strongest individuals that could possibly be in the National Basketball Association. Shaq gave this goddamn man fits.
Man.
When I say fits, fits.
As a human being, he's not supposed to move like that. I was playing in New York, right? We're up. I know he probably went out the night before, so I'm like, I'm not gonna say shit, right? I'm gonna just let this game go by. Third quarter comes and he's doing okay. They're down 6. He looks at me, it's like, okay, good game, Lil Fry. We gotta win this now. And just
Lil Fry.
And it basically fucks me up for the whole quarter. Like, there's no fouling. There's no, imagine trying to foul a tree moving like a cat and just dunk after hook shot after dunk. It's just impossible to move a human that big and that he's mean.
He has been the most dominant player in the history of the game of basketball, period. And not LeBron, not Steph, not Magic, MJ. Like, Shaq physically was the most dominant player we have ever seen, maybe will ever see, because of his sheer size, athleticism, skill, footwork, hands, everything. There was no guarding him. And let me be clear. They don't call fouls every single time you foul him. There's times where he's going up for a dunk and you just do a flyby and you hit his wrist. And he's like, watch out, little fella. I'll break your wrist next time. And you're just sitting here like, if my hand was in between the rim and he was trying to dunk it, he would break my fucking wrist. That's not a lie. And there's no other player that I can think of in recent history that has that type of strength and power. He changed the fucking equipment. Backboards were getting broken. When people talk about Steph changing the game, true. I think there's lots of players that changed the game, including Shaquille O'Neal. They literally had to change the physical equipment because they had never seen someone with that level of strength before. That's changing the game, right? And it's like the equipment needed to be adjusted because of him. So I love it. If Shaq was today and that Laker team was today, obviously they would change some things, but no, Shaq was the most dominant physically dominant person I've ever seen in my life.
Shaq could have been a lot more mean than he was. You know what I'm saying?
Was nice.
We thank God Shaq was raised right.
Right.
Oh, God.
That's a big mother.
Y'all haven't played against a pissed off Shaq.
I know, right? Yeah.
Ooh, Shaq getting pissed. What? Thank you, Mama O'Neal. Thank God for that. Seriously, but it's a different brand of basketball. So when I'm watching, I'm like, what the? Seen Shaq first time.
Yeah.
You ain't never seen Shaq first time. It's like seeing the alien, y'all.
Starstruck.
Man, Shaq came out like, God, I kept looking up. Meanwhile, I'm 7 foot, y'all.
If the closest ever, and it wasn't directed at me, it was a different position, that I saw where maybe guys were a little bit more nervous lacing up
I think we're gonna say whoa.
was Shaq. Because Shaq wouldn't just, go out there and outplay and dominate you statistically, like whatever. He also could potentially put you on some sort of video clip that could last a lifetime, right? So
Chris Dudley.
Right. And and by the way, Shaq, second year in the league, maybe he's in Orlando. I'm in Dallas. That was leaner Shaq, but picks up a loose ball in the middle of the lane. I'm the closest guy to him. And even then it was, don't let this guy get layups and dunks, chop him. He starts to rise up, and I just swung down as hard as I could across both forearms, and he kept going like full strength, and I'm feeling kind of like my body starting to go upward, like in an upward motion, like where you're thinking like he's about to take me off the ground, and you release and let go.
They had to put a zone in. They had to put a zone in to stop him. They confused it. They had to draft sorry ass big man who was taking steroids just to stop this dude. You take Shaq and put him in the 80s, 70s, 60s. You can't do that, right? You can't put him in those eras because he's just too strong, too big. They not ready for that. You put him in the eras after that, they're not built for that. So there's no era that was built for this type of play.
Oh, I ain't seen nobody do to a backboard, to a rim,
Oh,
to a
stanchion.
support
Yeah.
than what he did. Now, I seen cats break the rim before. You ain't never seen nobody break a whole goal.
Like shot clock, stanchion,
clock.
padding.
All that shit. Like, I would have to say Shaq is the most valuable. Everybody else get dunked on. It's a hard dunk, boom. It might shake the rim, but this man destroyed backboards, shot clocks, whole basket supports. That team, when Shaq was in his prime, other teams would have to have in the back, like right there in the tunnel before where the other teams come out, other teams would have to make sure that they have at least 2 goal supporters. With, shot clock and everything ready, all they gotta do is just plug it in because they ain't know if he was gonna destroy the backboard or not.
Those of us gathered here today have come to honor one of the most dominating players in NBA history. Watching frustrated players swarm around all 325 pounds of a determined Shaq spinning toward the basket was like watching those tiny old biplanes trying to take down King Kong. No player ever had to endure more physical abuse. Yet not only did he endure it, he excelled in the face of it. When we look up at a statue of Shaq, we are reminded not just of the points he scored, the rebounds grabbed, and the shots blocked. We are inspired by the hours dedicated to practice, the determination to improve, the need to rise above his own expectations. When I look at that statue, I will not only see the exceptional athlete, but I will see the man who earned his MBA as well as his doctorate in education.